And this allows me to go to the next slide of asking ourselves, what is the gap? Because we're saying we want to analyze the gaps and be able to seal them for us to have then to be able to build that worthwhile legacy. And number one gap for the, I'm talking of the gap as an acronym. So G, today G is standing for we ought to grow. And growing, it doesn't mean that we are stagnant in what we are doing or in stature. No, it's about our mindset. It's about what does God want us to be? Or are we in the comfort zone, like, so COVID imekuja, nothing else we can be able to do, so what is it that we can be able to achieve? And growing is coming out of our comfort zone. When you read the story or you know the story of an eagle, the way a she-eagle will do to prepare for the young ones, it will be able to create a nest very far in the trees or in those high places. And it will use 3 ingredients to make up that net. There will be that nest. There will be the feathers, there will be the thorns, and there'll be something soft like a wool to be able to make that nest very comfortable for the young eaglets. And now when it reaches to the time that those eaglets, they have been able to grow and they ought to go out, for the mother eagle to be able to create some discomfort, she will be able to remove the wool and the feathers and just have the thorns remain there. So for the baby eagle, when they feel they are kind of discomfort, the discomfort aspect, that is the time they will be able to fly out and go out and realize, oh, we have now grown and we can be able to come out of our comfort zone and be able to do what it is for us to be able to make our own living. And so for tonight, it's a challenge that I want to give to all of us. And we ask ourselves where we are, the position we are in. Are we in a comfortable status that we are feeling, I'm okay, I don't think I need much of being disturbed, you know, whatever situation it is the time we want to ask ourselves that big question. How can I be able to grow from where I am to be able to build that worthwhile legacy? And the other thing on the A for the gap is our attitude, you know. We ought to put on a positive attitude, you know, a heart of gratitude. If it is about the spirit of forgiveness, if it is a spirit of, you know, loving people, giving out. When giving is being mentioned, many times we may think it's just about money. But let me tell you, it is not just about money, but it is what you have that you can be able to give. It could be that smile, you know. Many times I've been able to walk or to ride in matatus, and the time maybe the conductor gets to my destination and I alight, I'll be able to say thank you. And they're not used to this kind of a thing. Or you may ask yourself, why should I say thank you? I've paid for it. But we ought to develop that heart of the gratitude aspect, whereby we can be able to give a smile. You walk into a supermarket, maybe you are doing some shopping and you find maybe an attendant there, and you wish to appreciate them for the good work. It doesn't matter what it is, that you have to give, because you can only give what it is that you have. It may not be money, just like Peter and John, when they were walking to the temple to pray, and they met this gentleman who was begging, and they told him that we don't have money, but what we have, we want to give you. In the name of Jesus Christ, wake up and go. And the gentleman got his healing, you know. And so you want to ask yourself what it is that you have that you can be able to give. It could be some guidance to a young lady. Now, remember, our children are already in school, I mean out of school, and we have a lot of youth, we have a lot of children, others figuring out this is something they've never experienced. Even saying jump or giving a word of encouragement to someone, that is something big, that you will never meet somewhere, or God allows you to meet, and you are the kind of person who did 1, 2, 3. Now that is a legacy that you're living in life. And so how do we touch lives of people every other day? And then the P, to close on the gap, I have said it's about prayer. Prayer, because like I've mentioned, I've said that having come from a humble background in the village, whereby even accessing some of these services, and being able to go to school, or even getting to a job and getting to a business, all those, it has taken God through the word of prayer, because he says we don't be anxious of anything, but we just put our requests be known to God. So I don't know whether we are murmuring, or we are complaining, or we are sharing with who, but today we can decide, whichever religion you are coming from, you can always call unto this God through prayer. And he says whenever we call unto him, he'll be able to show us great and mighty things that we have not seen. And prayer is the communication that we have with our God, who can be able to answer the desires of our heart. So don't be anxious of anything. Put it to the Lord in prayer, and he will be able to come forth for you. I don't know what it is that you're desiring God to do for you tonight. And I believe by the time we are leaving this show, we'll be able to also call God in prayer, just like we've started, that he could be able to guide us, that he could be able to lead us, that we could be able to live or to build that legacy, that he will be pleased with us and say, yes, indeed, we are faithful servants, that we've done what it is that he intended us to do. And so we can only inquire from him, Lord, what it is that you want me to do? Who are these people you want me to touch? Can you bring them my way? And he will be able to do exactly that, because he's a faithful Father. And so I wish to finish with some quotes here. The quote says that if you wish to touch the past, touch a stone. And if you wish to touch today, touch a flower. And if you wish to touch the future, touch lives. I don't know how many lives you're touching, even in the current situation. It could be even sharing of that meal that you have. It could be sharing a word of encouragement. It could be whatever it is that the Lord leads you to do. It's a way of building towards your strong legacy. And touching lives is everything, because even when God was equipping us with talents or gifts, he was equipping us to be of service to others, not to ourselves. It is to service to other people, those that God brings our ways. It doesn't matter at what capacity, but so long as you are doing something and touching a life, that is what the Lord is looking up to us. And one of the scriptures in the book of Proverbs 13:22 says, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. This verse keeps our life calls, our vision, and our legacy front and center when we are choosing how to live our life. Like I've mentioned, when we talk of inheritance, many times we think of maybe money or properties. And like even when you talk of eulogy, there's nowhere you've ever gone. I believe we've been able to attend funerals, whether online or even physical. And there's nowhere you will ever get a eulogy talking of someone having left how many flats, or how much money in the bank. And however much money, you will still find this person being either contributed for to be buried. And the legacy we are talking of, or the inheritance we are talking, is what we feed in the lives of other people. We are talking of history from today, maybe 100 years to come. What is it that you're leaving behind? Like I've said, I am also an author, and my book is basically about my story, my journey. And that one could also be one of the legacies you leave, because if you don't tell your story, no one else will ever tell. And many times we hide our scars because we feel we are being ashamed, or we are feeling we are not, what watatuonaje. But the good thing is that when we realize that our scars are medicine to other people's situations, then we can be free to say whatever situation God has allowed us to go through He's allowed us to go through the same for a reason. And that reason will also be able to create for our legacy, building that kind of a legacy. And so it is the high time. It doesn't matter what it is. Everybody of us has a story. And no story resembles the other because we are all unique and God has created us for different purposes. And so you just need to come out there and tell God, I want to build my legacy. I want to build this one. I want to share this story. It could be the medicine someone has been waiting out there. I remember when I was doing my story and the manuscript, those days, because it's also another long journey of the writing, I remember having gone to share the manuscript to be typed by a lady somewhere in CBD, Nairobi. And when she finished typing and I went to pick the same, she told me that I've really ministered to her, that she's undergone the kind or similar kind of an experience, but for her, she's never been able to overcome it. So she really wanted to know, how can I be able to overcome the same situation? And it's someone now we started working a journey. Remember just writing a manuscript that is just raw, is, very raw. And someone realizes, oh, it is an aspect that just brought in a healing. And that is why we cannot afford to hide our scars. We cannot afford to hide them because you never know who is it that you are leaving that medicine to, and tomorrow they will be able to reach out to someone else. And so tonight I'm super excited to having you as my participants, and as we share this conversation, I know time is not on our side, and being given another chance by Matthew and the team, I believe I shall be back.